Hey, what's up? Yes, we're here for programming solutions very new exciting lesson. In this lesson, you will learn to receive inputs from your console screen and arithmetic instructions. Guys, I am too much happy today because finally I went out with her. Just two of us, just unable to put it in words. Okay, let it be. Let's start the lesson now. In the last lesson, we coded our first C program on Visual Studio. But here, first I will explain you program and the logic which is used in it. Then we'll show you one demonstration on Visual Studio. This is your program which is in front of you. This is the program to calculate simple interest which you may have learned in your 4th and 5th standard. The first line in the program is a comment. I explained you in the last lesson how to comment. Though comments are not necessary, it's a good practice to begin a program with a comment indicating the purpose of the program. Any number of comments can be written at any place in the program. You can write a comment before a statement, after a statement, or in between any statements, like this. Also, you can nest one comment inside other. I think this is becoming very interesting now. And if you don't believe me, just write down that code on your machine and just execute it and see the results. Often programmers seem to ignore writing of comments. But when a team is building big software, well-commented code is almost essential for other team members to understand it. Okay, let's come back to our program. As I explained earlier, first two lines of actual code leaving the comments are the include statements. Hash include stdio.h and hash include conio.h. I told you already that these are header libraries which insert some code which is already written stored somewhere else into the current code. Main is the function with return data type as void. I will explain data types later. Now the first two statements in main function are declaration statements. Here we are declaring two integer variables and two float variables named as P for principal, R for rate, T for time, and SI for simple interest. Integers are nothing but the numbers without decimal point. And here P and R are the integer variable. int is the default keyword of C language used to declare integers. Floats are nothing but the numbers with a decimal point, but the upper and lower limit of float is different than integers. Also, while storing these numbers inside the computer, they are stored in different ways. We have declared rate and simple interest as float because they can be with a decimal point. In the next three statements, we are trying to assign values to these variables. P is equal to 1000. Here in this statement, we are assigning 1000 value to integer variable P or principal. You have to keep variable to the left side while assigning values. Similarly, T is equal to 3 and R is equals to 8.5 assigns values to respective integer and float variables. Now we know three values and we have to calculate simple interest. So the formula for calculating simple interest is simple interest is equals to principal into rate into time divided by 100. The next line does the same. It stores value of this calculation into float variable SI. Now the calculation result of this product and division may be a float number or integer number depending upon what values you are assigning to P, R and T. So we are storing this into a float. Result may be a whole number or float number. Float will store it. But if you are declaring SI as integer and if the result is a float, then your result may lost its digit after the decimal points because system will convert float result into integer automatically. This is the key point to remember. Now the calculation gets done in the order as multiplication or division first, after that subtraction and addition, like this. There are about 45 such operators in C and surprisingly there is no operator for exponential, just for your knowledge. Okay, now as we have calculated the result and stored it in the variable si, we have to display it on the screen. We use printf to display hello on the screen in previous lesson. Here it is used to display si. The %f which is used in that statement is the format specifier for the float variables. If you want to print a float variable on the screen, just write %f in the double inverted commas and after that 1 comma and the variable value. You can put the statement also instead of putting variable. Examples are like this. If you see all these examples and try to code it on your PC, you will come to know printf closely. There are many more format specifiers in the C language. For integers, for characters, for strings, etc. You will come across all of this. Now let's see our second program. The basic aim of this program is to accept any integer value from user. In this program we will print a message on the console screen that enter any value between 1 and 10, and then we will accept one integer value from user. If user enters value greater than 10 or less than 1, then also it will get accepted, but we are just providing him message to enter any value between 1 and 10. After that we are accepting that value and storing that into an integer I, and after that we will print the value which user has entered already. So now I will explain this program. In this program, first two lines are header files and then your main function with return data type as void. After that we have declared an integer value and also initialized it with the 0 value. We can do the initialization at the time of declaration. Think in this way that declaration and initialization are two different things. int I and then semicolon is just the declaration, but I is equals to 0. I am assigning some value at the time of declaration, that's called initialization. Then the next line prints on the screen the message that enter any number between 1 and 10. Then the next statement is scanf, which is used to accept input from console screen, or you can say from user. Here %d is format specifier as the %f which we used earlier. Difference is that %d accepts integer value while %f accepts float value. Also we have to provide variable to store the accepted value, that we are doing with %i. Ampersand provides the address of the variable I. You should know that in our computer variable I will get stored somewhere when we run this program. So and I provides that memory location to store the accepted value in that. Now we have to print the accepted value, so that we are doing in the next statement. For the first %d format specifier, first variable's value will get assigned. So in the printf statement, wherever first %d will come, that %d will print the value of first variable which will come after comma. After that, program will wait to accept a character from the user side or from your side with the statement getCh, means get character. When you will press any key, the console screen will get closed. So guys, this is all about accepting inputs. Now there are many format specifiers to accept different kind of inputs. You will come to know them later. The main thing while learning any language is to be curious. You have to understand the logics used in the program. What happens if we don't write the include statements? What if I don't write void there? What if I don't give semicolons at the end of statement? All such questions should strike your mind, and the answer is nothing but you will get errors from your compiler. Then try to understand them. There are so many tricky questions which are frequently asked with the declaration, initializations and statements like printf and scanf. Somewhere I will give you some examples of that question. Now in the next lesson you will learn the types of instructions. So must watch. Goodbye.